Hey, I'm Mark. Get in here, let's go. Let's learn something today. Quiet. Look, speak and show off your ignorance, or you can listen and learn something. All right, books down, close the door. Why? Because I'm a history teacher and I'm going rogue. You know, I'm concerned about a very important part of Americana. I'm talking about the shopping mall. For years, the shopping mall has been a huge part of our lives. Where else can you build a bear? Where else can you get an orange Julius? Where else can you get all of your Christmas shopping done? In one place. It's where the Valley Girls first uttered, "Gag me with a spoon." It's where the T-1000 met John Connor. And it's where we all met Phoebe Cates. It is a great defensive position against zombies. I mean, the mall. Without the mall, where will we find Santa? But Amazon, man, Jeff Bezos single-handedly destroying this part of American history. You know, one of the anchor stores at the mall between my house and work is gone, and now there's this 200,000 square foot building sits empty. The mall down the hill from my mother-in-law is completely empty. A developer plans on tearing it down and putting up an apartment complex. Dude, why are you tearing down the mall to replace it with another building? Why don't you just convert the existing mall into an apartment complex? How awesome would that be? Lunchtime, head down to the food court. At the end of the day, take the escalator up to your apartment. Roll that big metal door down. Security, man. You know, I have seen the future of shopping malls. It's our future. Logan's Run. Let's go rogue. So, the story of this 1976 film, Logan 5, lives in the city of the future. Because of the ecological devastation of our planet, people have been made to live in underground cities. But that's not so bad. Everything's provided for in this city of the future. Everything. Right down to your most base desires. Utopia. Actually looks a little bit like Disney World. It's a young person's dream life. Live in a mall with Phoebe Cates and other beautiful people. No work, no responsibilities, sex, drugs, rock and roll. The only problem with that arrangement is that to ensure that the entire population has access to the city's limited resources, people are only allowed to live until age 30. All citizens have a life clock, a crystal, embedded in their hand that glows throughout life. But once they reach 30, the life clock turns off. Options? Hang on a minute. The futuristic city of Logan's Run is actually a shopping mall, the Dallas Market Center Mall in Dallas, Texas. The future of shopping malls. All of the decisions for the mall city are made by a computer, artificial intelligence that the city worships like a god. Babies are immediately taken away from their parents to ensure loyalty to the mall instead of to a family. No one has a last name, only a first name and a number. So what happens when someone turns 30? Well, the entire population of the mall is kind of a death cult. One option for your 30th birthday is to go to Carousel, a beautiful ceremony. 20 people standing on the edge of a large platform, and when the carousel's engaged, it rotates. The law of gravity is abolished, and the participants lift off the floor, like Charlie Bucket and Grandpa Joe after consuming the fizzy lifting drink. Except that the 30-year-olds on the carousel want to reach the top. They must reach the top in order to be renewed. In the stands, ringing the carousel like the crowds of the old Roman Colosseum, are the great citizens of the city, cheering them on. Renew! Renew! Go, fizzy lifting drink! But to reach the top, the condemned 30-year-olds must battle laser blasts from somewhere. And sadly, no one ever makes it. The other option when a person turns 30 is to become a runner and try to elude the death squads of the city, referred to as the Sandmen. Dun 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 dun. Michael York, Basil Exposition in the Austin Power series, plays Logan 5, a Sandman whose job is to terminate runners whose time clocks have expired. The movie starts with Logan and his partner, Francis Seven, attending Carousel. They get an alert from the computer that there's a runner, and they leave the ceremony and terminate him. That night, when Logan seeks some company, the computer sends him Jessica 6, played by Jenny Agutter. The next day, the computer calls Logan in and alerts him that runners have been reaching a place they call Sanctuary and ruining the good thing that the city has by going and growing old. It orders Logan, to find Sanctuary and destroy it. When Logan questions the computer's decision, the computer moves Logan's life clock forward, turning him into a runner. Stupid computers. Logan reconnects with Jessica and the two run. They slip into the New You store where a plastic surgeon uses the powers of lasers to make people look younger, particularly those approaching 30. Here they meet Holly, played by Farrah Fawcett, who would go on to become the Charliest of Charlie's Angels. Holly knows of the hideout for runners. The plastic surgeon suspects that Logan, a Sandman that is running, has bad intentions and uses his lasers to kill him. Logan turns the tables on the surgeon, though, putting him on the table under the lasers, and he escapes with Jessica. Logan and Jessica proceed to a runner's hideout, but Logan alerts the Sandmen. They arrive, dun, 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 shooting up the runners, Holly included. Logan, what a jerk. He and Jessica escape, but not before his partner, Francis 7, discovers that Logan is running. Logan and Jessica navigate their way through the bowels of the city, then into an ice cave inhabited by a part human, part robot named Mr. Roboto. No? Oh, we're still 6 years from Styx. Okay, his name is Box. Well, Box collects food for the food court. Fish, plankton, sea greens, and protein from the sea. Well, for the past while, Box has also been freezing runners and prepping them for consumption by the mall's inhabitants. When Box attempts to put the freeze on Logan and Jessica, Logan destroys him. Great, Logan. How's the city gonna eat now, jerk? The ice cave, though, leads to the outside world above the city, where the pair see the sun for the first time. They emerge in future Washington, D.C., which is now overgrown with vegetation. Inside the abandoned chamber of the United States Senate, they meet an old man, played by Peter Ustinov, and realize that people can live past 30. Francis catches up to Logan, and the two fight to the death. Logan wins. Logan and Jessica then take the old man back to the city. Logan begins preaching to the citizens that there's a world outside the mall, city, and that people can live past 30. He's arrested, taken to the computer. He tells the computer that there's no sanctuary and that there is a world outside of the city. The computer cannot comprehend this news and self-destructs. In the process, the seals of the city are broken and people leave, seeing the old man. Roll credits. It's the future of stopping malls. Stores go out of business, malls become obsolete, turn them into self-contained cities for some utopian future. Escalators taking citizens to 4 different levels, food court, apparel stores, apartments, Hallmark. You can get a card for your friend that's about to turn 30. Oh, it'd be beautiful. Thought I saw one guy in the movie grab a JCPenney circular while walking into Carousel. But the world of 2274 looks a lot like the world of 1976. Most of the women have long hair, feathers, like Farrah Fawcett. Dudes have long hair, like Michael York. They're all dressed in brightly colored tunics made from sheer fabric, no bras. The guys in the film wear similarly colored clothes, many with shirts open down to their belly button, no bras. A lot of chest hair, though. Oh, and everybody's white. You know, the movie in many ways is a criticism of the hippie counterculture movement then for the previous decade. Remember when the hippies all said, don't trust anyone over 30? In 2274, they just got rid of them. Free love, drugs, disco. No one has a job and total pleasure at the press of a button. When Logan first meets Jessica, it's on the circuit where, kind of the 23rd century Tinder. Everything people under 30 could want. Hedonism run amok. Hasn't changed in 40 years. So what's the point? Logan's run sets the standard for many dystopian societies to come. The idea that there are limited resources and access to those resources requires some kind of human sacrifice. At an almost religious ceremony attended by all of society, appears again in The Hunger Games. Casey, did you read The Hunger Games?
Yeah, I did.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Does it sound similar to this?
No.
Oh. Well, in Logan's run, they gather at Carousel. In The Hunger Games, they watch it on TV. The idea of humanity fleeing the Earth's surface and making life somewhere else is the premise of Disney's WALL-E. Casey, did you see Wall-E?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Does it sound like this?
Yeah.
All right. Well, in Wall-E, humanity finds life in a shopping mall in outer space rather than underground. The Axiom spacecraft provides those on board all the pleasures of life. The mirror of Logan's Run goes right down to Otto, a computer that makes the decisions for the people on board the ship. And when proof of life appears from the surface of the earth, Otto can't deal with it. The old man in Logan's Run speaks of his mother and father and him growing up in a family, which intrigues Logan and Jessica, who've never known the concept of family. Husbands and wives that live together for the rest of their lives. When Logan and Jessica choose to be beloved husband and beloved wife, the story comes full circle. The hippies realize that intact families has always been and always should be the center of society. Where there are no parents to instill wisdom or values or discipline, people under the age of 30 will find something else to be led by. In the past, they've been led by homicidal dictators. In the future, maybe a homicidal computer. You doubt? Anthony Lewandowski is a Silicon Valley engineer who's recently filed papers with the IRS to create a new religion, the way of the future, which worships artificial intelligence. AI that may one day be used to run a city or a shopping mall, or the lives of people under 30. AI that might one day formulate that the cost of keeping older people around is not worth the benefits and determine that we ought to euthanize people at a certain age. Who knows? By the year of the city, 2274, that might be the world we live in. Or the mall. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. If you did both, give me a thumbs up. Have you seen Logan's Run? Share it in the comments below. What are you going to do when your life clock starts blinking? Are you going to go to your appointed place at Carousel, or do you take a chance and run? I want to thank my producer, Casey Moulton, and Alex, and Avery, and Mr. Brent Allen for letting us borrow his studio here on the campus of Columbia High School. I had fun, but I won't quit my day job. And when your life clock in the palm of your hand starts blinking, think of me. I'm Mark Haggard. I'm a history teacher, and I've gone rogue.